Hey, what's up guys, it's Crypto Kyle here. I just wanted to do a quick video on this stock I was watching today. I actually didn't notice it until it was like way up here, just 'cause I was doing other things today. But if you're new to trading, a good tool to use is tradingview.com. Obviously you can place orders in here, I think, but I don't do that. I just use it for tutorial purposes. But you can see that this thing had a gigantic move today. Pretty crazy. But I saw it when it was coming up here, so I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let me see where it's potentially at. So I decided to draw my Fibonacci here, and if you don't know Fibonacci, you should probably teach yourself that. And if you'd like some help, I can certainly help you along those lines. It took me a while to learn the way that these things move, but could have drawn it here on this first pullback. And this is a 5-minute chart. If you're doing intraday trading, that's the time frame that I prefer, or like 15-minute. Some guys use 30 or an hour, but I like the 5-minute because it tells like a little bit better story. So anyway, it just kept pushing up. You can see the volume ramp up in here. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. I'm going to draw my fib up to this second pullback. And we saw some sideways consolidation back into the 9 moving average, super bullish. We saw this huge breakout here with a ton of volume, and the thing went from 419 almost up just a point, just like that, and then before our next pullback. So by the time I noticed it, it was all the way up here, and I said to myself, wow, it's already at the 261 fib extension over this breakout right here. That is really overextended. However, it was just moving sideways. So I was like, all right, it's bull flagging again. So potentially you could scalp it. And when you would do that, would be a good entry is like, typically you want to draw a support line right here. And you're going to want to maybe take some long entry here on the break of this. When this candle closes right here, you can take a long as it comes back up, right? So you probably put an entry at 794. However, there's a whole dollar there, so you got to be careful. And then put a tight stop under that, about a 20-cent stop, it looks like. So that's good risk to reward ratio. But it is overextended if you were to take that scalp. So I was actually looking to short it, and I was like, wow, I could probably take a short here, but it seemed pretty strong with all this buying volume. I was like, maybe it's got another push. So I started to build a short position. I took small size, thinking maybe it'd be like a bull trap, and get people to buy this little fake spike here over this resistance over 8. So I put my order at like 815, and I got filled for small size, and lo and behold, it kept going. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it can't go much higher, I don't think. So I was comfortable with just letting it ride. So before I added size, I just what I like to do is I like to stack my entry line underneath each candle. So I'm going to wait now until the candle closes, and then the next one breaks underneath that. So it didn't. So you can see that this candle here opened, but the close. So it didn't break underneath this candle here. This candle did not break under this one. This candle here did not break under this one. So I just kept waiting, moved it up right there. This candle did not break under this one. So still it's not ready to short. It's still in an uptrend. So I said, okay, well, maybe it's this candle. So I let this candle close, and then I was ready with an order here on this candle if this candle's low was going to break. And I had a stop order to enter the trade. If you're not familiar with stop orders, you should probably teach yourself that as well. It's going to allow you to get picked up in the flow, right? You don't want to just jump in. You want to get picked up with the momentum that the direction is going. And in this case, it was a short, so it was going to go. I was anticipating it to go down, so I decided to go heavy because it was the first time that the 5-minute candle had broken the low. Now you could just like start stacking these up. You can see that never does a candle break the previous low. It just keeps going up. right there. Like right here we had a little bit of, but it didn't really do it. And then there, nope, not right there. Keeps going. Right here it got a little weird, but it just bounced immediately. And you can tell there's a ton of buying with the wick of that bottom wick right there. So we keep going up. Right here got a little overextended. All right, then it starts getting weird as we start getting up into the 261. But it held support, a lot of buying volume. So people probably got psyched on this, thinking they were going to short it right there. And it's in no man's land right here. So it could have been a possibility. They got squeezed out, obviously. And then we kept stacking. All right, there we go. Stack. And we kept going up, and we short. Boom, we short it right there with size, because we want to average our cost if we had jumped in a little early. And if you do jump in a little early and you're not following this rule of waiting until it breaks, then start small, because most likely you're not going to get lucky. This is a general rule of thumb that I've found that works, and it's highly probable when the thing breaks, especially when you get over the 261. Like, that's super overextended. This is like straight up vertical, and typically they do this. They go up and they come crashing back down, and that's exactly what happened. So we got picked up in the flow. Boom, we get this huge crash, and then now what we do is that we do the opposite, and we start stacking. This would our stop up here, a break of the high. So it was a 50-cent stop, but we had to average our cost, so it was a little bit more. I think my average cost was like somewhere in here, $8.50ish, and we would have stopped at the high day break. Now it's pretty probable because it crashed so hard. It just went flash down, so it was like super in the green really quick. And then I set my stop to break even because I got picked up so quick, and then I just start stack right there. I was like, I don't really think so. It didn't really have a lot of volume. We had sending volume, so I didn't close the position. We just kept going down. I was like, oh, again, it's got resistance now. It's like maybe this thing goes all the way back down to the $2 range where it freaking started. And it got down to here. It's like in no man's land in between these moving averages. And it's let's see. Then we would redraw our fibs to understand, like you would see, 50%. That's where it kind of bounced. And I was like, I don't think it's got that. It's just so up and down that people probably aren't going to come in and try to bounce it. Like these ups would need to move like this, and then ramp back up to what's called a cup and handle. So you get the push, the cup, and then the big ass push back up. So in the break of the high, it didn't happen. It just crashed, and it most likely will close, I don't know, 350, and then maybe tomorrow it'll go back down to what it actually was, because nobody's going to be interested anymore. There's no volume unless later in the afternoon. What is it? 3 o'clock. Yeah, people call this power hour, but these guys typically bust their nut super quick, and then it's over. So. Yeah, I ended up closing right in here. So, solid win. Wish I would have been able to ride it up and then all the way back down, but I caught it late and kind of checked it out when it was like at 8, so was able to short it. So yeah, that's that. I just wanted to show you guys this. Email me, kyle@bitconnectloan.com. Happy to try to teach you these technical analysis tools and strategies to kind of help you in your trading. All right, cheers guys.